Great. Mono red aggro. Just kind of like... Mono red aggro maybe isn't unfair. It's like a bigger red aggro deck. We're curving all the way out into Glorybringer and Chandra and Torbran. We've got Rabblemaster here along with Bonecrusher Giant, Soul-Scar Mage, a couple of Embercleave. We basically just have every good red card from like all the standard sets that are legal in Pioneer. So let's get a little smashy and see how this goes, huh? Get that. We have play points because we use 3-2 to league. We're so good at this. We're so good at this. All right, I'm gonna throw my lunch in the microwave really quick while we get smorking. Microwave is astonishingly quiet while it runs, which is good upside. Easy mulligan here. Yeah, it seems a keep. We get to bottom the second Kari Zev, hoping to draw some lands. Guy that plays the base, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just keeping me around. Mountain Tribal, essentially. Tapped lands. That sounds delicious. Love me some tapped lands. We're gonna have chat call this deck Chonky Red. I think Chonky Red's descriptive. Yeah, that works, J-Man. I should just add an other to the forum. That's a good idea. Weird. It's not letting me edit. Weird. Alright. Other. Alright, there's now an other option. Look at that. Nice 1-1. Land. 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 Perfect. I appreciate you. Oh, I should attack first so I don't take a damage off the Rampaging Ferocidon. Alright. This card might be a bit of a liability, bit of a hoodland in these in the red mirror. We'll see. That's interesting. That's really slick. Ghostfire Blade on Javier. I dig it. For those wondering where I went, I was pulling my Invisalign out so I can eat some lunch. And while I know seeing me reach into my mouth and pull that out is someone's kink, that's not the kink we appeal to on this channel. Attach an equipment you control. Okay, sure, cute. So if I animate this Embercleave only cost me 4 to put into play once Kari Zev does its thing. Hey, a big toe. Thanks for the 9 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, Bait Nutria. Thank you for the 3 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Cleave ho! Alright, so Abrade sounds good here. I know Rampaging Ferocidon was okay just there, but I think in general, especially on the draw, I don't want this card against another red deck. Scab-Clan Berserker is one-sided, right? Yeah. Let's board in those. This looks great. Again, needs to draw some land. But not only are we on the draw, but if we miss, we've got double Lightning Strike. Sounds good. Man, these clifftop retreats have not been kind to our opponent so far. Nice, Jace. Congrats. I'm just going to go ahead and kill the champion here. I want to just spend my mana this turn, I think. A Priest of Gix, thanks for the awesome 18 months. I rarely catch a live one, but thanks for all the YouTube VODs. Thanks for the continued support. I appreciate you keeping me around. Glad you enjoy the archives. Well, I'm glad that this lightning strike's dealing minus counters, I guess. That's a hammer. Ragnaros, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Wait, they're equipping it to this? Sure. Sure. Ramble and pass, I think. I mean, we could potentially race them here, right? Probably not. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, if they have, well, Embercleave's not castable for them, right? They could have actual factual team or battle rage, though. Huh? How do we feel about killing Mutavault here? If I let the Mutavault eat my Goblin, I could double Lightning Strike plus double block. Yeah, I think we just double Lightning Strike plus double block next turn. Because then I won't even lose both my creatures that way, right? Because the Soul-Scar Mage will be a 3/4. Sure. Hey, thanks for the 4 months, Pseudo Panda. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We won't ever able to be kill Mutavault. I mean, we can kill Mutavault inside of combat, right? And they'll have to decide if they want to kill my Rabblemaster. They can't draw the 2 cards from under this. They have to choose between the 2 cards and killing Rabblemaster. Yeah, Soul-Scar Mage is always impressive when we play it, it feels like. I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump block their Mutavault to keep my Chandra alive. Wow. They're just not pressuring the Chandra. That's so good for us. Yep, deal. Well, shoot. My kingdom for an Abrade, please. Alright, I guess that's a chump block, huh? Dacha, thank you for the third of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Super dead to Embercleave. Hazoret. Yep. Are we dead? Feel pretty dead. I suppose Chandra kills Hazoret, huh? So if I draw Abrade, we could be okay. Because Chandra's down tick with Soul-Scar Mage kills Hazoret. Alright, I mean, I drew another chump blocker. So we get another turn at Abrade. Not out of this game, but pretty far behind. Well, I mean, our deck's kind of mid-rangey, so, like, we're not all in on, like, having to run them down, right? Like, we got, like, Chandras and Glorybangers. So, like, if we hit an Abrade to get this hammer off our back, we could, you know, potentially draw a Glorybringer from there. And, like, their deck definitely could have, like, wrong half problems, right? Don't mind me, I'll just be over here treading water. Hey, Dubstack, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend and wonderful end of the year. Yeah, they're playing a 3-2 for 3 that can equip it. It's like relatively fair, I think. Alright, I think I'm actually going to put these 2 Ferocidons back in on the play. Just be more aggressive and try and run them down. This card's real messed up, Mike. It's basically been a player in every format that it's legal in now. Probably not modern, but Pioneer, Historic, and Standard. This card's everywhere. It's like Teamer Battle Rage ++. Alright, for the third time this match, This hand is reasonable, but it needs some lands. We've drawn lands the last couple times, so we'll see. Double Torbran in the opener is a little bit medium. But if we just run off a couple of red sources here, hand is very strong. Yeah, Goblin Rabblemaster is like a more aggressive Legion War Boss. The reason why you favor Rabblemaster over Legion War Boss Index and Pioneer typically is because if both Legion War Boss and Rabblemaster get left unchecked, Rabblemaster does more damage. Some decks actually play both, but Rabblemaster kills slightly quicker on an empty board. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and stomp here. Get my prowess trigger attack for 2. And they don't play out something worth lightning striking. We get to just play Bonecrusher Giant next turn. Curve right on into Torbran here, which makes our red stuff deal 2 extra damage. I think getting in 1 point of damage this turn is not worth them getting extra cards here for free next turn, so I'm going to hold this back for now as a blocker. I think this is quite possibly one of the best red cards ever printed. The fact that it's just like relevant removal and it curves 2-3 on its own is incredibly powerful. Hey, thanks for the 2 months, Reverend Chaos. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, shoot. So I can play this, which means this does 6, this does 4, this does 3. So that technically lets me trade my 3 cards for their 1/1 in combat. I could also just Torbran and smash them. And if they don't block, they take 9 down to 7. And then I could chump with Torbran and then play another Torbran the following turn. The problem is this has me under the abyss, right? I have to block this every turn. And they have plenty of other blockers out. So I can't really just 2-turn them. Like if I play this attack, they can take a hit this turn. And the following turn they have to chump block. But like I have to chump block each turn too. Well, Snipe for food. Thanks for the 32 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm going to play Torbran and then attack for 3. And then plan to chump with Bonecrusher Giant this turn. And then if I draw another burn spell next turn, Soul-Scar Mage plus Torbran, let us shrink down this Bomat a good deal to get it into a manageable spot. Fiend Slayer Paladin. Not pro-red, but can't be targeted by red or black spells. Rabblemaster is a really bad draw. All right, so I think the plan here is if they attack with just this, we'll lightning strike it plus double block. They're swinging with everything. Yep. So if I animate Mutavault, yeah, I can't beat a cleave. I can do this. And then second Colossal Hammer. Yep. Yeah, I just don't have the tools to beat Aid plus Hammer every game. Like, if they don't have another hammer or a cleave here, I can lightning strike them for 5 down to 9, and then if I draw another removal spell, I can potentially kill them the following turn with Torbran plus Soul-Scar Mage, but without seeing an Abrade, our red deck just doesn't really have much of a chance there. I know we just did an ad break, but with my Invisalign, I need to brush my teeth after I eat, so I'm going to run to the restroom and brush my teeth really quick. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I do that, since I am AFK anyway, so I'll be back in just a moment. We got 4 more matches with this red deck, and then we're going to roll on into some standard. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. I bet the chair could probably 5-0 a league too. Lord knows we can't do that today. Thanks for sticking through the break, folks. Spent almost 5 grand on the Invisalign, so I want to make sure I follow all the directions to the T so they do what they're supposed to do. Seems like it'd be a waste not to. Would I highly recommend Invisalign? I don't know. So I'm only, the treatment I've done so far has been, the inconvenience level has been low. I can't really speak to whether or not it really is going to work yet because I'm only on tray 6 out of 29. So as I get further through it, you wear each tray for 2 weeks to start, and then at some point you transition down to I think 7 to 10 days, depending on what your trays and like your treatment looks like. I used to carry a toothbrush with me. Yeah, I don't really leave the house, so it's like not too big of a deal for me. Lightning Strike's actually a great draw here, because I can Lightning Strike and then eat this in combat, because this will be a 2-3 and this will be a 2-2, because Mage shrinks it. You were 2 weeks per tray the whole time. Technopunk, thanks for the 10 months. Yeah, I've got one tooth that's like really pretty crooked on the top, and then just a little bit of crowding on the bottom. Sure, you have a Revoker. I suppose they could have a Stubborn Denial here to punish me for waiting on the Lightning Strike. But like, even if they have that, I have Wild Slashes to mess up this Ghostfire Blade later. We're crossed over each other. My front door overlapped a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, basically, it's actually really funny. My 4-year-old, Declan, I leave the house so infrequently that when he sees me leaving the house, he just assumes I'm going to the gym. It's like one of the only things I leave the house for. Before blocks, I want to see if this Lightning Strike resolves, because if it doesn't resolve, I don't want to block. With the Wild Slashes, I get to run the same playback next turn. So I can Wild Slash this down to a 3-3, Wild Slash kill this, block this as a 3-4. Best Magic Streamer. Demon Stratus, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate the compliment. Welcome back. So now I'm going to block before I do this, because when I Wild Slash this Revoker, they might sack it to Shrapnel Blast to kill this, and I want it to be blocking if I do that. So this will kill both their things, and my Soul-Scar Mage will live, which is sweet. You'll note I Wild Slash their Ensouled Artifact first. That sequencing is important, because Wild Slashing that first allows me to know if they have another Stubborn Denial, if I need to send the next one at there as well. I think if they want to trade Mutavault for the Soul-Scar Mage, I'm okay with that. Opponent just straight up out of gas here. This is, again, going to be a matchup where I bring these Abrades in. I think I'm just trimming Ferocidon again. Our sideboard doesn't really have a lot of tools for opposing aggressive decks, so a little awkward that we're 2 for 2 against opposing aggro. If you're one of my regular viewers, you might be wondering why I'm on over the weekend. Through the end of the year here, I'm going to be doing 7 days in a row of longer streams. So today through Friday, I'm going to be doing 3 to 4 Pioneer decks every morning, and then a minimum of 3 Arena decks every afternoon. So we'll starting Arena probably about an hour from now or so. And as always, if you want to know what's coming up, you can find the deck queue on my website. Tiger Yamamoto, welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo Bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. If you're a new viewer, thanks for dropping in. I normally stream Monday through Friday during the week. If that schedule doesn't work for you watching live, absolutely everything I stream as well gets uploaded to my website and my YouTube channel. So lots of great content that's really well organized in both of those places. So easy to follow and catch up on things that you miss. I also tag usually one deck in each format that I play each day as my favorite or deck of the day. So I stream a lot, and I know a lot of people have trouble watching absolutely everything that I make. So a good way to catch up on the best of the best that I stream each day is the favorites page on my website. Yes, Torbran is definitely good with Glorybringer. Big agree there. Just gonna go ahead and Wild Slash this. I think if they have a Stubborn Denial and they want to burn it on this, I'm okay with that. So this doesn't need Target player who has dealt damage. Sacrifice this until your next turn. Target player has dealt damage. So if they haven't dealt damage to me, this doesn't have a target, so I can stomp this A-okay. Every time you chat, all I can think of is how I need that tower. There aren't many towers out there, and the few people who have towers already have Twitch added that first badge or whatever it's called. So a lot of people who would have towers actually have that first badge in chat over them. Maybe I'm supposed to wait a turn to stomp this, to play around soft stub, since it counters my creature half as well. If the adventure spell doesn't resolve, the card doesn't go on an adventure and you can't cast it. That would be scary if we didn't have this Abrade. To get a little bit of energy. Normally this gets lifelink. What's been the deck of the day so far, chat? Probably the JAC deck before this. The first two Pioneer decks we played were super rough. We might have started the day by going 8 matches in a row without winning any of them. Might have been 0-8 to start the day. We 3-2'd with JAC though. We're 1-1 here, so we're on the upswing. When you start 0-8, there's pretty much only one direction you could go, which is nice. Do 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 do. What's the tower talking about? My sub icon is the 4-year sub icon. Should probably figure out what I want to do for a 5-year sub icon. I'll have some of those. I've got like half a year to figure that out though. Our cumulative variance is swinging back in our favor. It is. Wrap it up. All right. Relatively aggressive start here. Good 2, 3, 4, 5 curve. Oh, this hand, opponent looks like they're playing the ramp deck. That's usually what plays Radiant Fountain. We're going to run them down real good here. 5 years should be an old whale. I was thinking about maybe a dragon. So, like, the story of the current sub-icons is you're, like, progressing through Hoaglandia. And, like, the castles represents, like, a keep that you have on your own plot of land. So, like, a dragon to defend your keep could be very reasonable. I'm gonna go ahead and just lightning strike this, otherwise it gets to chump block my Rabblemaster, and I'd prefer it didn't. I'm like, turn 5 lethal here. Better story than Magic's current lore. Listen, you said it, not me. We're playing a 2018 Challenger deck in Pioneer, something like that. Thanks for the 10 months, Rabbit Wallaby. Alright, so they're dead. They get to get a Radiant Fountain here and go to 11, but I believe they're still dead, right? I get to... Well, I guess I need a land. No, they're dead even without a land, right? Because I get to... lightning... strike you... minus this... stomp this... Yeah, so it's like, they gained 4 and we killed them on 5 still. Pretty sweet. Do I bring in Damping Sphere here? I feel like I might, huh? It turns off, It turns off Castle, and it turns off... Turns off Castle, and it turns off, their Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. Makes both of those slower. That seems fine. So, unlike in some matchups where we can keep slightly slower hands, we're going to want to mulligan for things that are a little bit more aggressive here. Having Kari Zev on 2 is great. We also have Damping Sphere as a little bit of disruption. The fact that their first land is one that hurts them here is a big deal for us. Oh, they're playing Land War Elves. Huh? Okay, if they're on Land War Elves, cutting my Wild Slashes is wrong. I should definitely have Slash in my deck if they're going to be playing this card. Obviously, I wouldn't have had Wild Slash this game anyways, so like, not that it really matters. I guess this could have been a Wild Slash. Maybe. And this is why the opponent's deck is just so good. Like, there's actually just like no way to interact with this stuff. I guess we could have had a counterspell for this if we were playing a blue deck, but like, they've literally just put 2 mana into play every turn this game. And like, these are worth more than 2 mana, right? Like, these are each worth 2 themselves. And like, Damping Sphere cuts these off, but like, Damping Sphere doesn't even really have text in this matchup. Because like, most of their ramp is just putting more lands into play. So like, these are only worth 1 apiece now, but even with these being worth 1 apiece, they still have 6-7 mana on their 4th turn. I think we're probably just dead. Land destruction is incredibly unfun. The solution to what our current opponent is doing is not land destruction. The solution is probably ban all of these stupid 1-mana accelerants that never should be legal. Make Magic's a much better game without 1-mana acceleration. Mono green ramp plays Damping Sphere on the side and boards it against Lotus Twiddle. Yeah, I believe that. Seems very reasonable. If they cast anything that cracks these Sanctum of Ugins, I'm going to go ahead and concede. But if they just have Cavalier, maybe we have a shot. Although if we ever actually kill the Cavalier, they get Ulamog back out of their bin, which we can never beat. This attack is super aggressive. If they don't have like a Spatial Contortion here, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. The fact they get to play Spatial as Lightning Strike's a huge deal too. If I attack with this, I'm dead, right? Because they go pump and then hit me for 9. I think the deck we are currently playing against is currently the best deck in Pioneer. I think blue-white control's probably a close second, but what they're doing, what the opponent's deck is doing is both incredibly powerful and incredibly difficult to interact with. Yep. So I had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I actually had them, if this last card had been a blank, we actually had them exactly dead with the castle plus the Mutavault. Alright, so I'm going to have to chump block this next turn. I think blue-white is popular because it has an okay matchup against this deck. I'd be kind of surprised if that's true. All of the cast triggers are real brutal against blue-white. I think the opponent's deck is actually harder to interact with than Tron is. So they have no cards left. So I think my play here is attack for 4. Post-combat Chandra plus Chandra for mana. Play Rabblemaster. And the reason why I need to do this post-combat is because I want this Goblin token to not have to attack. So that way it can chump block the Cavalier. And if I play this pre-combat, this has to attack. That's backwards. The green ramp deck is popular because it's good again. Yeah, I would believe that. Having played from a general theory perspective, the opponent's archetype tends to be good against control decks. What does their deck do? Their deck makes 2 mana a turn every turn starting on the first turn, and then eventually plays things with giant cast triggers to run people down. They played Cavalier of Thorns in the 3rd turn of the game. I don't know, maybe Damping Sphere is wrong, and I'm supposed to just, like, be as linear as possible when I'm on the play, especially. It's a real shame this hand doesn't have lands in it, because the spells are great. This hand is okay. Not great, but fine. But it also went to 6. If they have an elf on 1, I can Bonecrusher it, so that's nice. Honestly, I would not be surprised if green is always the best color in Pioneer until such a day they feel it necessary to ban Land War Elves and Elvish Mystic. Like, these 2 cards, a Boreal Grazer, these things are the reason why green is so good. In fact, the fact that green just gets to play 2 lands on turn 1. I think the opponent's deck's worst matchup is itself. It just has a failure rate where sometimes you draw all mana and no payoffs and you die. That's just like part of the territory, basically. So with Soul-Scar Mage drawn here, I actually get to play Soul-Scar, and the next turn I can fire up Mutavault and play Embercleave, which is great. Wow, they have another Spatial. Yeah, the fact that their mono green deck gets to play 2 mana removal is so huge. Like, from a traditional Magic theory perspective, aggressive decks are supposed to be the natural foil to what the opponent's archetype is doing, and the tools that this archetype has in this format just doesn't make that possible anymore. Between the Spatials and having up to 12 pieces of 1 mana acceleration, it's just basically impossible. Alright, this alongside Soul-Scar Mage is pretty reasonable here. I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, shrink this down to a 1/2, and then I can pass back, and if they want to kill my Chandra, they have to lose both Land War Elves here. I think the green ramp deck is too good. If you are someone who's considering buying into Pioneer with this deck, I would recommend waiting until after the next ban list update. A Boreal Grazer is the last accelerant that you're not thinking of. Do I want to cleave them this turn? If I cleave them, they get to Hydra next turn. And I lose my Chandra, so that's probably not good enough. I think I just pass. Is Goose okay? I mean, I think without Oko, Goose is probably fine. Goose doesn't let you go 1-drop into 3-drop into 4-drop. Which I think is an important distinction. Alright, this cuts off Castle and Shrine. Dark. God, that's terrifying. Well, now we don't have any time. Okay. Oh, if I would have Torbran first, Chandra would have done an extra damage, right? Alright, if we don't get Ulamog this turn, Torbran plus Cleave should kill them next turn. They should be 2 lower. I should have played Torbran and then plus Chandra to 4 them. Please draw a card, please draw a card, please draw a card, please draw a card. Alright, I think, and like, someone asked a second ago, what is the opponent's deck's worst matchup? And my answer was themselves. This is a good example of what I mean by that. They're losing this game in large part just because they just drew a bunch of air. Which is just part of the territory, basically. Part of their lumps that they have to take. So this puts them to 4. We attack with everything, and this Embercleave is very lethal. I suppose they could have, like, a Naturalize or something. Yeah, there was very clearly, like, a design philosophy change at some point in R&D Pokemon Nerd, I think. Double blocking here is bold because any spell lets this be lethal. Just because it's prowess and then it's +2 from Torbran. Hopefully they're just dead to this sword regardless of what they do here. They need like a disenchant. Naturalize style effect. Cleave ho! Cleave plus Torbran's a good combo too, because both your strikes get +2, which is great. Alright, hashtag sometimes lucky, chat. Sometimes lucky. 2 and 1. See if we can cash another league here. Maybe make a profit on a 4-1. That felt sort of like a game of Modern. You mean ramp decks create gameplay that doesn't have many meaningful decisions and you just clench your butt cheeks and hope to get lucky? Yeah, I agree. It's exactly like a game of Modern. Most games of Modern feel like that in my experience. Dr. Jones, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, that's basically what this deck is, while not dead. It's just like, what are all the constructed playable red cards from the last little while? All right, let's play them. One thing I'm not 100% certain on is Mutavault's been pretty okay. Like, this card's good, but I'm not sure if having Mutavault in this deck is worth not having Goblin Chainwhirler. Like, not... Goblin Chainwhirler plus Torbran is, like, kind of busted. So that would be my one thing I would want to test if I was going to work on this red deck some more. I would want to know, like, is Mutavault worth not playing Chainwhirler? I think you could probably still play 2 Mutavaults with Chainwhirler. Like, if you have 2 Mutavaults in 24, you're on 22 red, which is about enough red for Chainwhirler. Sands a Keep, bottom of the second Soul-Scar Mage. Noted, Roller Dude. I'll get that bump added after I'm done today. Well, Ramunap doesn't Worth noting, Ramunap Ruins isn't red, so it doesn't get boosted by Torbran. So I'm going to attack first here, because maybe they don't block. Can potentially steal a point of damage. I don't need the blocker, so might as well see if they fail to block if I leave up prowess representation. Wild Splash is a good pickup here. Lets me attack into these inspectors, no fear. To go ahead and get wacky and wild and slash one of them. They lose a thing, they take 4. I did have a wonderful, wonderful holiday Sin Faith. Looking forward to a nice quiet end of the year here in Hoaglandia. Lots of streams. I'm going to be here New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. Although I'm going to be on during the daytime on both of those days is a fair thing to note, I suppose. Petty theft. Rude. All right, I think I just go ahead and stomp this inspector. Oh, you know what? This is bad. I should have attacked because I bet they block. And then if they blocked, I could have stomped this one to kill both their things, which would have been ideal. Our opponent is definitely not clueless. They know what's up. They understand. All right, let's attack first. So that way if they have Spell Queller, they have to deploy it. They met our dragon. My dragon is very excited to be here. All right. Would you like to tell me to go quell myself? The nice thing about this, if it gets Spell Quellered, is if they Spell Queller this and I kill the Queller later, I get to stomp when I recast it, which is nice. Very nice. Gosh, they're just drawing with clues here. That's really good for us. If we draw a land for Banger, we can Banger because that doesn't get Spell Quellered. If we don't draw a land, we'll probably just attack and activate Castle. Thanks for the 3 months, Mike. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Fifth mana out of them is a little bit scary because it does mean they could have Archangel Avacyn here. But they're also just like taking enough damage that's probably not a big deal. Archangel lines up well into Glorybringer just because she'll be a 4/4 indestructible when she comes into play. Hey, JWT Football, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate you keeping me employed this month. Welcome to Hoaglandia. All right, so... Yeah, it feels like Avacyn, right? It could also just be like Crack, Clue, Brazen Borrower. I really don't want to play Glorybringer into potential Avacyn. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Rabblemaster and attack. It does give them an opportunity to Spell Queller if they have it. So if they Archangel Avacyn here, they'll get to eat the Bonecrusher, but then they're still taking 4, so I think that's a good exchange for me. So Avacyn, when she comes into play, she gives their things indestructible till end of turn. I say they want to eat this Goblin token, right? What? Deal. Sure. If they have a way to kill this 3-bit Inspector next turn, we could be in trouble. Because Avacyn, when one of their other creatures dies, she flips over, and her flip side deals 3 damage to us and all of our stuff. Avacyn's got Vigilance. She's going to go ahead and get in here. So, I think we just get to, like, play the Glorybringer and bang Avacyn next turn. Selfless Spirit. Okay, so we're dead. That's super unfortunate. Selfless. Selfless plus Avacyn is real good. This was what they needed to stabilize with this specifically too. I think I attack and exert here because this way, if they wanna block, they have to trade. They could flash in Brazen Borrower and chump, but I think I'm okay with that. I am notably dead in 2 to this Avacyn at the moment, so getting to trade with it sounds appealing. Yep. We had a couple of copies of Fry in our sideboard. That should be really good here. Abrade also useful. So close and yet so far away. Inspector's bought him just enough time at the beginning there. Fry sounds great. Rabblemaster's actually pretty bad here. They have a lot of blockers. They have Spell Queller and they have Avacyn to clean up. I'm just going to bring in Abrades and the Fries to control the board a little bit. Avacyn plus Torbran would be hot. That would work, wouldn't it? Let you 5 everything. And it only 5s your opponent's stuff, right? Because it says for red source shield damage to an opponent or permanent they control. Yeah, Avacyn plus Selfless Spirit's really good. Those two work together in Standard. Also, you also played her with Walking Ballista for a little bit, because you could, like, off your Walking Ballista to trigger her as well. Alright. No Inspector. God bless. Good aggressive start for us here. Yep. I think I'm going to hold on to the Wild Slash for now. Just plan to stomp this next turn. It's a little bit less resource efficient, but it's more, in red-white, there must be a reasonable way to give Glorybringer Vigilance. Does Vigilance work with Exert? What's the rules text on Exert? Exert a creature 1 untap during your next untap step. It does, yeah. Yeah, always watching. Okay, so Vigilance works always watching is the easy one. Yeah, Gideon Blackblade as well. Exert is explicitly doesn't untap, not tap it, and it doesn't untap. That key distinction is important. I'm gonna go ahead and Wild Slash this. This way, if I miss a land next turn, I can still play the Bonecrusher Giant. Well, we hit the land. I guess we'll do this. Hit you for 2, attack you for 2. Cycle Sensor. That's a card that's good to know they have. One that's going to be worth playing around. I'm just going to flood the board here. Attack them for 2. just like, ahead, let's stay ahead while they're stumbling. We got 2 Ramunap Ruins in place. They're at a virtual 5 at the moment, assuming they can't get some life gain going. Yeah, just stumbled a little bit too long. Alright, gonna try and win a game on the draw. I think I'm happy with the board plan. Gonna go ahead and run it back. Just a little bit more removal. This hand's not particularly aggressive, but it's got a lot of quality interaction. I think should allow us to be like, see the controlling half of our red deck happen here. Hopefully we draw some lands here. Would love to just like see lands for the next 3 or 4 turns. Feels Magic Man. Maybe I should have just end-stepped this so I didn't have to tap out for it here. Don't giddy in me, bro. Deal. Abrade's the best Shatter variant, and it's not close. It's definitely up there in terms of flexibility. I can't stop drawing Boluses / Ugin with the Grixis deck to the point where I forgot I was running sweepers. Rough. Lead on Soul-Scar Mage here. Say go. We're down to just 3 cards in hand here. Yep. So I get to strike this Brazen Borrower. Get my thing bounced back to my hand. You know the drill. So this is going to pop back up. Looking for land still. Perfect. Do I play around Censor at this point? I feel like they would have censored something earlier. I've been choked on mana this whole game, so we need to, like, make 6 mana worth of plays this turn is really good. That's unfortunate. It's pretty punishing. Chandra didn't get any value. Oh, dear opponent, please don't Avacyn me. 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 Are we dead? I think we're dead. That was like actually just the worst possible scenario for us, I think. The Brazen Borrower at end step to finish off the Chandra. And then Avacyn to make our Glorybringer useless. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like... Maybe I'm supposed to play the Soul-Scar Mage that turn I played the Dragon and got Avacyn. Maybe they're just, like, committed to Avacynning me regardless. It's very possible. There's not much we can do from here. I don't know, maybe playing into the Avacyn was wrong. That was their first opportunity to play an Avacyn, and like, it's enough mana that maybe they just commit it regardless of value or not. If I like don't use my mana and they don't play Avacyn there though, I get pretty far behind. It's also possible that like deploying Chandra when I did was wrong, and I could have deployed other creatures to the board that turn and just blocked for her, played removal spells. Yeah, it felt like we had the resources to win that game. If I perhaps sequence my stuff in a different manner. This is an excellent Mythgard hand. Unfortunately, this is Magic, so we need some lands. Play a little catch and release here. The rubber band match for that. That's $7 worth of prizes. Oko would have survived, need more loyalty. Yeah, something like that. There's the best card in Pioneer. Right there, chat. There it is. On the draw, an opponent played 2 lands turn 1. Wild Slash? Wild Slash? Wild Slash? Well, you know, close. It's a turn 2 play at least. See what they do here. Yep. Twitch baby sacrifice for Mono Red. Thanks for that. 9 months, Lab Rat. Yep. So what you're saying is they should reprint Fine Hard Elves into Power. That's exactly correct. Green decks need more consistency. Big agree. It's like my opponent has 5 lands in play and I have 2. Like I killed one of my opponent's pieces of acceleration this game. And they have 2.5 more lands in play than I do. Or 2.5 times my mana. I'm all aboard for 12s. Has this deck had 5 cards banned out of it? Once, Veil, Field of the Dead. What are the other ones? I don't know if this deck played Oath of Nissa. I don't think Oath would. Would Field of Rune help this matchup? No. How would Field of Rune help this matchup? Instead of me telling you your idea is bad, tell me why it's good. What part of what's happening here do you think Field of Rune is good against? Please explain. Because I'm not seeing it. And again, like, the opponent's deck's worst matchup is itself. So, I think the people that are saying Leyline got banned out of the opponent's deck, you're off base. This ramp deck is fundamentally different than the Devotion deck. I know they're both Land War Elves decks, but like, what they're doing on a core level is different, I think. That's an important distinction. Yeah, 4 cards is a lot. You're not wrong. Like, you would theoretically need, like, Wasteland to be okay against the opponent's deck, and even that's probably not enough, just because they still have more mana than you. Yeah, I agree with Wallaby. I'm interested to see what they do on January 6th. January 6th is going to be the last Rapid Fire ban list update. You have a Walking Ballista. Enjoy. Just keep swinging, 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 and hope they don't draw bombs. Our deck just needs to prioritize maximizing our synergy coefficient in order to be able to rapidly adapt to the changing board state. I think you did it. I think you buzzworded appropriately. I guess these blocks means their Walking Ballista can kill my Ferocidon without dying this turn, which is a little annoying. Ban Basic Forest. Basic Forest is not the problem, chat. 1-mana Accelerants are. Meaning Worldbreaker. Break me, daddy, break me. Oh, yeah. Crack me in half. What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? What? Okay. Or are they just like killing this before they breaker me? So they messed up. They should have done that last turn so they'd have to lose their Walking Ballista. They're exiling my Ramunap Ruins. Deal. Why is nobody talking about fetch lands being reprinted? They're not reprinting fetch lands. They didn't ban those from Pioneer to just reprint them. Of course, I clicked the Bluetooth on, so my wife from the other room hears "break me, daddy, crack me in half." Listen, if you're not at least slightly uncomfortable with the things that we say on stream at least once a day, I'm really not doing my job, okay? My goal here as a content producer is to make sure that the things you're listening to get taken out of context and get you in trouble. You can't phase me without breaking the TOS. I'm slightly uncomfortable every day. So there you go, Wiggle. See? Doing my job. Always watch Hoagland streams with headphones. That's true. It's true. In a post-child world, it's not very dangerous either, which is nice. God, how do I ever beat a 5/7? Burn spells? We don't have that many. I guess Torbran kills them pretty quickly, though. We're just like Lightning Strike plus Stomp away from killing them. Yeah. Well, my opponent appears to be disconnected, or Comcast got them, or their doorbell rang, or their pizza is ready. How's everybody out there doing? Happy Saturday, folks. I'm going to be live tomorrow all day as well. This is match 5 of this league. It's our last Pioneer deck of the day. We're going to roll on into some Standard on Arena after this. Got some blue-red flash, some abs in here, and some 4-color gates to play over there. This is unfortunately a matchup that's almost certainly not going to go to time, so if my opponent, is AFK for 7 minutes, they just, get to AFK with no penalty. I want Choke to be reprinted, not because it creates good gameplay, but so you could say, choke me, daddy. The shelf behind me new. Yep, put it up last weekend over Christmas. Moved my food station off to my left. That houses all of Christie's many board games. There's a couple, 2, 3. There's a better picture on Twitter or in the subs Discord if you didn't see it. My opponent has lost connection to the game. You don't say, Arena. Weird. Waiting. Someone asked how the Moto kick timer for DC is 8 minutes. And if you get reconnected within 7 minutes and 59 seconds, there's actually no punishment. If y'all played The Captain is Dead, that's not one I'm familiar with. This deck felt okay. I'm not certain that not playing Goblin Chain Whirler is right. But the rest of these cards just like good red cards that have existed in recent memory. Yeah, it's real bad, Vernash. You don't lose. Most matches of Magic don't come down to the Clock Jackal Girl. So, this match of Magic, if my opponent loses 7.5 minutes to walking away from their computer or disconnecting, there's not going to be any real penalty. They're going to have plenty of time to play the games, minus 7 minutes. MTGO match timer is way longer than it needs to be. The first 2 Pioneer Leagues were rough. To start the stream today, we lost 8 matches in a row. Took a $20 bill and lit it on fire. I guess thanks for the reminder, Cocaine. Thanks for the 20-month snap, Bolt Snap. Well, you know. Yeah, I actually like Arena's timer for the most part. I think the per match timer could be a little bit shorter. I think 20 or 25 minutes in competitive events would probably be plenty in Arena. 30 is too much. I wonder how much money Coke spent to let a bunch of people know that they gave some new Twitch partners $100. Seems like you did get a Sword Wiggles. Thanks for the 12 months. Yeah. And this is probably an organic disconnect or life happened. So, it's hard to be too upset, even if it's annoying that I have to sit here and wait. Because, they're ahead in this game right now, I think. Let's get Arena loaded. This match actually times out. That's what we'll be doing. I do have all of you. If I wasn't streaming, I'd just be sitting here waiting on my lonesome. People are saying that source isn't valid, Neil Drox. It also doesn't make sense for fetches to be on Theros, so I'd be pretty surprised if that's legitimate. Are they on Mythic Spoiler? Yeah, they're not Mythic Spoiler. I'd assume they're fake. We played a more sly red deck. We've not. Do I have a link to my computer stream set up? There you go. Is that it? I think that's it. Did I remember the command on the first try? I did remember the command on my first try. Alright. Anywho. We won thanks to the 2 best words in the English language. Default. 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 Anywho. Red. These are basically all the good red cards from the last little while. Deck's a little bit bigger than a more low-to-the-ground red aggressive deck would be. My one thing that I would want to try after playing these matches is I'm not convinced that Ferocidon is better than Goblin Chain Whirler. I do think you probably want 1 or possibly 2 more red sources to play Chain Whirler. So I think you'd probably cut these Mutavaults for probably another castle and a mountain would be my estimation to make Chain Whirler happen. But like curving Chain Whirler into Torbran is real good. Just like lightning bolts your opponent's entire team, which seems real strong. All right. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get set up for some arena. We're going to do standard for the rest of the afternoon. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. We got another